Hello guys, welcome back. So far we are able to save the connection records into the database, but we encountered an issue in the last lecture that after sending a connection request when we refreshing the page, we lost the pending status button and we are not showing any information to indicate whether the user has a connection request with this user or not. Okay, so now in this lecture we will fix the issue. So open the member details partial first, so you can go to the project directory, and here you can see that this is our member personal detail partials. Okay, now in this partial we need to break the existing condition in two separate parts and add the new ones. Okay, so first uh, cut this condition from here, that is current user dot checked if already connected. Okay, so you can cut this condition and remove this end sign. Okay, and here we now need to form the second condition into a separate one. Okay, so what we can do here, add another if block if user is signed in. So paste it here, if current user dot checked if already connected. Okay, if this return false, that means the user is connected with this user, but we need other conditions here, because if connection can have different statuses. So if it is in pending status, then we can render the existing partial from app views connections, that is create. And if the connection is in different state, then we can display other text as well, like accepted, rejected, and so on. Okay, so first put this within this if condition, and now add the else if part, else if. Okay, and what we need to do here, if current user dot connections dot find by, because we need to check if this user has a connection already, then what is the status of that connection. Okay, so if current user dot connections dot find by, and then what we can do here, connected user id, if it is equal to the user id or the visited user id, so user dot id dot status equal to pending. Okay, then what we need to do, we need to render this partial. Here you can see in the connections that we have this create.html.erb, so we need to render this partial into our member detail personal. Okay, so if this condition is true, then render it, sorry, what we can render here, connections create. Okay, and then we need to pass a local variable as a connector. Why? Because this partial is using a local variable, that is connector. Okay, so we need to pass it from our this partial, so connector as user. Okay, now what if this condition is also fail, I mean if the status of the connection is let's say accepted, then what we need to do, we need to check again else if, and now we can just use this query else if, and here what we can do, accepted. If it is accepted, then we need to display some other content, that is let's say button, type button, and then class btn success. Okay, and then we can display content like let's say connected. Okay, and end this button. Now the other condition is like for example, if the connections request is rejected, for example the user who received this connection request rejected your request, then what you need to do, you just need to change the condition to rejected. Okay, and now end this block. Okay, and then we need to display rejected here and make it danger. Okay, and you can make it rejected. Okay, and save it. First let's cancel it. Okay, however here you can see that I'm writing this query on the view, which is not a good practice. Okay, but I will show you how we can refactor this when we discuss about the helpers. Okay, because if you have to perform any kind of query on the view, then you must use some helper methods to get the data. Okay, but I will show you that in the next lecture. Okay, but for now, we just need to keep it like this. Okay, and save the partial. Okay, and then come to the browser and refresh your page. Now if you refresh your page, here you can see that since this connection request is in pending state, so we are seeing this button pending, and here is the message that is your connection request has been sent but it is in pending state. You will get connected once Mac will accept your connection request. Okay, and here you can also see that when you refresh the page, you can again see pending. Your connection request has been sent but it is in pending state. You will get connected once this user will accept your connection request. Okay, so now we are seeing that our conditions are working fine, and we can indicate some information here which will show that in what state or in what status the connection request is in right now. Okay, so now what we can do, we can try to update the conditions from Rails console for now, because we do not have any view implemented to perform action on this connection request. So what we can do, let's come to the Rails console. Okay, so open the terminal and here run the Rails console command, and then what we can do, connection dot last dot update, let's say status is accepted. Okay, and run this command. Okay, sorry, I made the typo mistake here. Okay, and run this command now. So here you can see that the connection has been updated and its state has been changed to accepted. Now if you come to the browser and refresh the page, you will see that this is showing this user as connected. Okay, now let's try to update this status to rejected. Okay, when you click on the when you save this status as rejected, you will refresh the page and you will see the danger button here which is showing rejected. Okay, and it is the button type, so nothing will be performed here. Okay, we will allow receiver users to take action on the request using some UI or some stimulus controller. So what we will do for now, that let's save it to pending state again. So let's change this to pending. Okay, save it, and when you refresh the page, you will again see this pending status here. Okay, and that's it for this lecture. So we make all changes regarding the connections from the requester's point of view. Okay, I mean, if you are a requester or if you want to connect with any other user, you can just go to their profile and you can click on the connect button, and a connection request has been created and saved into the database, and you will see the immediate status of that connection request on the DOM. Okay, but in the next lecture, we will do some changes from the receivers as well. I mean, user who will receive the connection request, and then we will allow those users to take actions on a connection request. I mean, if receiver wants to accept the connection request, he can. If he wants to reject it, he can do that as well. Okay, so meanwhile, try this lecture at your end, and we will meet into the next lecture. Till then, tata, goodbye, take care, and stay safe.